oops, I'm getting feedback. I'm calling to order the November 2nd, 2020 meeting, the special meeting of Goffstown Select Board. It's being held remotely via WebEx platform. I'll have more information on that shortly. So flag the United
States of America,
and to
to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, now read off the right to know meeting checklist for town of Goffstown. As chair of the Goffstown Select Board, due to the COVID-19 outbreak and in accordance with the Governor Sununu's Emergency Order Number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this board is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there's no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to the meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the Governor's Emergency Order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, this is to confirm that we are doing several things. A, providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. The town is utilizing the WebEx platform for this electronic meeting. The public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting through dialing the following telephone number: area code 603-766-5646 and using the participant code 785645 followed by the pound sign. Item B, providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. The town previously gave notice to the public of how to access the meeting using the available telephone number with the posted agenda. Item C, provide a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If anyone has a problem with telephone access, please call 603-384-3624 for assistance. And finally, item D, adjourning the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting, we will adjourn the meeting and have it rescheduled at that time. Please note, all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. So we'll start the meeting by taking a roll call of attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during the meeting, which is required under the no law. So I'll start the roll call. This is Adam, present. No one else in the room with me. Kelly?
Nobody's in the room with me.
Okay, thanks, Peter. Mark?
I'm here, President. Nobody in the room with me.
And Chet?
Chet Bode, and there's no one in the room with me.
Okay, thank you, folks. I don't see any minutes for tonight. I think, according to the agenda, the first item on the agenda is the town administrator's report with a consent agenda. Is that correct, Derek? And you want to take that away, please?
Yes, that's the first item. So the only thing I have in the consent agenda is the DPW used vehicle titles and or bill of sales that were approved last week. That needs the signature of the chair.
Okay.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Motion by Peter,
I'll second.
seconded by Kelly. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call the roll. I vote yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes, sir.
And Chet?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 5-0-0.
The next item I have for you this evening is tax rate setting for 2020. In your packet, you have the tax rate for the town, as well as county, local education, and state education. We're seeking a motion from the board to set the municipal portion at $8.31 per thousand for a total tax rate of $24.89.
I'll approve with questions.
Okay, so it's a motion by Peter.
I'll second that, Collis.
And a second by Mark. Okay, now we'll open it for discussion. Peter, do you want to?
Yes, I have to, on the 831, what is included in that? Have we taken any of the, like the fire department or any of that out of that yet, or is that all included in there?
That takes into account all the $825,000 that was approved at town meeting for use from fund balance for the capital reserve funds, as well as the additional road funds. And then as the board indicated during budget process, we did use $125,000 of fund balance additionally to reduce taxes.
And what is our fund balance compared to last year?
611. And Danielle, do you have what that compares to last year?
Healthy and, thank you, Jen.
Last year at this time, it was around 8.3. However, you have to keep in mind that this fund balance retained number that DRA is using is based on the December 31st, 2019 values. And so this number changes. So when we get into our budget discussions in the coming weeks, we'll be talking more about where that number actually sits at this point.
So at this time last year, we had 8.3 and now we're down to 7.2. And is that after, or I mean, before we assigned monies from the fund balance to like the road program and the fire department capital reserve?
So the amount that was shown on the 2019 $329,856, and this year it's up a bit to $7,228,611. But again, that is end of the year in 2019 minus the 825 that was approved at town meeting in 2020.
So if I wanted to get that to a 10-cent increase over last year, how much money would I need?
You said 10 cents on the municipal side?
Right.
So that last year in 2019, the municipal side was $8.14. So you're trying to hit $8.24?
Yes, I'm trying to reduce the amount of the increase.
Yep. Hold on a second. I did have a cheat sheet. There we go. You would need to use approximately an additional $104,000 from fund balance. Danielle, does that sound correct? Can you check that math?
That's 7 cents?
Yeah, we'd have to do an additional 7 cents. So I come out with 103,853.58. But it's basically $104,000 additional from fund balance.
So about $230,000 total from fund balance.
Correct.
Correct.
And at 125, it puts the fund balance retained at little over 14%, which, as I recall, is within the range of what DRA recommends for fund balance retention.
It's at the top of the range, yes.
Yeah.
I would like to amend my motion, or to put into my motion that we use an additional $104,000 out of unreserved fund balance to directly affect the tax rate.
All right, so you're amending your motion, Peter? I don't think you're.
Well, I'm not really sure if I'm amending it. We came out with a number of using 125,000.
Well,
I want to increase it.
well, let me ask you a question, Derek. Peter made a motion. I don't recall anybody seconding the motion, so we still got an active motion.
No, I
Mark-
I had a second from Chair, Select.
Yeah, Mark seconded that. motion.
seconded it.
Okay, hang on.
And I like Peter will amend my motion to follow along in Peter's footsteps.
Okay, so Peter is amending his original motion, and Mark, you're amending your second to his motion.
Yes, correct.
To add $104,000 to be used from the fund balance, bringing it to, what was it, 230 something?
It'd be $229,000 from fund balance to get a municipal tax rate of $8.24.
Okay, so that's the motion that we're considering right now. Is there any further discussion on that motion before I call for a vote? Anybody? Kelly, do you want to weigh in?
Derek, what would that go to directly? Like, how would that show up in a line?
I don't understand the question. What it would basically do is we would take more money, we would collect less taxes, basically. We would collect less taxes. We would be moving money from fund balance to offset our appropriation this year. And so that's basically what it would do. It would reduce how much we're collecting in taxes for the town side.
But it would go on the warrant as a use of the fund balance.
No, this is within your authority. At tax rate setting time, the select board does have the ability to adjust the use of fund balance when they set their tax rate.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so that was my question, is where would it show? But you're saying,
It shows on the tax rate setting form. If you look in your packet on page 2 of 4 on the DRA form, at the top under municipal accounting overview, you'll see on the 4th line down, fund balance to reduce taxes. And you'll see the 125,000 that we as staff put in, as that was indicated last year. So Danielle would work with DRA. They would adjust this number if that's what the board votes to do. And then we would set the tax rate. It might adjust overlay a tiny bit, which is at the bottom of the municipal portion, but that's money that's set aside for abatements, that kind of thing.
thank you.
But you, Chet, you have
Kinda
anything you wanted to
shore
add to the
everything up.
conversation? Chet?
Chet, you're muted.
I was trying to unmute there. I couldn't figure out. I thought if you hit the space bar, you could unmute. Apparently not. So it's within the range, Derek? It's at the higher end of the range, but within the recommended range from DRA? Is that what you said?
Yes, and it follows your fund balance. The only thing I will mention is as we get into budget season, we may want to explain to the budget committee that the board chose to use additional fund balance to reduce the municipal side so that we avoid budgeting against the tax rate and having a hard time coming to a proposed budget.
Sure.
Can I speak?
Go ahead, Peter.
Okay. My feelings are that this would go a long way with the budget committee on getting the budget passed. And also I'm not sure if Chet understood exactly what we meant, but we're at the top of our range on what's recommended for a fund balance. Am I accurate with that, Derek?
Yes, you are near the top of the range. Yep.
That may be the case. I personally am comfortable with being in that position.
Yeah.
Anybody else
Want
want
to call a question?
anything? Well, I'm asking, anybody else want to add anything before I move the question? Nobody? Okay. And Chet?
I would ask a remote meeting so that we can have you approve the tax warrant, so we can actually go out and collect those taxes. The town assessor will use this tax rate once it's set tomorrow with the adjustment made. He'll prepare the warrant, and then that will allow us to start the process of.
Say,
It'd be for 6 p.m. because I know there's a planning meeting at 7 p.m. and there's a budget meeting
Okay,
at 7 p.m. So at 6 p.m. on Thursday.
okay, that's where I was going next. I just wanted to make sure I could make my meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That works for me.
Thank you.
But let's see. Before we get to that, Derek, I don't see.
Kelly.
I'd like to call for public comment. Comment?
No one has called in.
Okay. So folks who may be listening, it's time for public comment. We'll give you a short, very brief, another minute or so if you want to call in and weigh in. Otherwise, we're going to move along with the agenda. Okay, so we are now at the item for the select board discussion.
Yes.
Okay, can you explain that, Derek?
Yes. So what you have in your packet is we did update the vacation balances for departments. through the end of the week on October 25th. You have those at your packet at tab 3, the second page. You can see what those hour balances. We spoke as department heads, we did not do a formal survey with employees, but I know that department heads have had a chance to talk with employees. In my department, Danielle and I talked to individual employees about what the board was thinking of doing. We do have a recommendation, and it is on your cover sheet, but basically if you were going to do a one-time rollover and buyback program, limit it to a max of 1 week based on the employee's regular hours. So if somebody's scheduled for 35 hours a week, they could roll over or buy back, have bought back 35 hours, etc. And all those recommendations are right on your cover sheet, and the department heads are online to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you for pulling this together, Derek. Appreciate that. Questions from the board?
I think,
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Peter.
I think Chet was first. Go ahead, Chet.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask the department heads, I know that you didn't do an official survey, but do you feel that the feedback you got from the employees was more than just anecdotal? As in, do you feel it actually represents what the employees feel?
Derek?
Yes, those employees that I heard back from and Danielle heard back from, not all would take advantage of it, whether they've used it or they have plans to use it. They were appreciative of the board's consideration and how strange this year has been. So the ones that I talked to, and I think Danielle as well, were appreciative of the offer. Not all would take the board up on either rollover or buyback.
But no real negative comment. So either in favor or neutral.
No, we didn't have anybody that came out strongly against it. I think at least here, I know at the other departments as well. We're very fortunate to be in the roles that we are and to not have any furloughs or layoffs, and we all understand that. So I think everyone was just very appreciative of the board of considering this.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, great. Thanks for your background information. Any other questions for Derek before entertain a motion? Seeing no.
I make the motion, we approve the plan, whether you want to call it buyback or carryover plan that's been presented to us.
I'll second that.
Okay, so let's, I think the recommendation motion should say, let's put that into the record.
Not really sure what you just said, Collis.
Well, I mean, I think there's some detail in the recommendation incorporated into them. Or we could just take a, I would just make a motion to accept the recommendation.
Collis, we're getting quite a bit of feedback from your line.
Are you? Okay, let me see. I'll turn down the volume to see what happens. Is that helping?
Yes, that's much better.
Saying to entertain a motion that's just the recommendation that's brought forward.
I just did.
I didn't hear it. There was crosstalk and feedback, Peter.
All right, yeah, I make a recommendation. We go with the recommendation of the town administrator and the department heads on the plan to do a buyback or carryover.
Okay, thank you. Motion made by Peter. Second.
I seconded it.
Second by Pat. Thank you, Chet. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call the roll. I vote yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And Chet?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes 5-0. Derek, I don't see anything else on the agenda. Is there anything else that needs to come before the board tonight?
Yes, we have 2 non-public items that are at tab number 4. There's nothing else for the public session.
Okay.
Motion to enter non-public. I don't have the, which one we're doing here. I don't see it.
RSA 91A:3(2) hiring B.
Okay. I don't have it on mine for some
Motion
reason.
made by Peter to enter non-public. Second by
Yes, sir. Mark?
Thank you, Mark. Call the roll. I vote yes. Kelly? Kelly? Kelly, you need to unmute. Kelly?
Yes,
Thank you. Peter?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes, sir.
Check.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Motion passes 500. We're now